Hello everyone, I'm the Peculiar Pisces and welcome to my channel. Today is Wednesday, February 18th, 2026, and this is Flosstube video number 75. I'm back with my weekly update and everything that entails, which in this case has just been my 4 projects. I have not been working on anything else. I haven't had the time, I haven't had the energy. I've been thinking about working on things and I've been planning it in my head, but I haven't actually sat down to do the other things. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles, right? So let's jump right in. I have not bought anything cross stitch related. I've been very, very good. The only things that I've purchased for cross stitch related things are having to do with the projects that I am currently working on, and it's because like I'm missing a thread or I'm missing a bead or things like that. So I've actually been really, really good. Last week after I filmed, I did go to Michael's and I bought some polymer clay, and I have not done anything with it yet. It is just sitting on my shelf waiting for me to have the time and to try to figure out how I'm going to start attacking this thing that I want to make. So let's jump right into it. My first project number 1, is the favorite designer project, and for the month of February, that is Mirabilia. I am working on the August Peridot Fairy by Mirabilia. And I am doing this on 28 count. Where's my tag? Down here. This is BestitchMe, and this is 28 count Wild Bouquet, and this is Opal Lugana. So when I discovered opals in the fabric, I absolutely fell in love with them. So as long as it's not a full coverage piece, I had decided at some point all of my projects should be on iridescent or opal fabrics. So far I've been keeping with that, with the exception of stuff that I started before I made that decree. But here's my progress. So I have just been working and bringing it down. I am almost caught up to this section, and then I got to jump back over here and finish the black and bring it down so that it'll be even, but I'm just picking a color at the top. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, I am just picking a symbol at the top and stitching it out until it's done. I'm just bringing it straight down because these colors are just, they're coming down. So it just makes, logically, it makes sense to do that. So this one, I got to work on it 3 hours, 25 minutes, and 59 seconds for the week of February 9th through February 15th. And that has brought my total time to 72 hours, 43 minutes, and 18 seconds. So I'm very pleased with how this one is coming out. I feel like I'm very close to being a quarter of the way finished, but I think that the quarter mark is more over here. Because when I started, it was like here, I think. So I'm getting closer and closer. I don't know. I might get this one done this year. I don't know. It's pretty close. This and last month's piece are both pretty close. Okay, so then project number 2 is either a Blackwork piece or a sampler piece. My favorite designer projects and Blackwork sampler pieces are designed to be fair pieces. My fairs, both the county and the state, sort of do the categories by fabric counts. So I'm staggering the fabric counts so that if I actually get two of them done in a year, that they can both be entered into the fair and be in two separate categories. One of the rules with my fair is that it cannot be more than 18 months old. So if I do finish two in a year, I'm going to have to put them in the same year because I can't hold it and then do it the following year. But my Blackwork or sampler piece this month for the month of February is in fact a Blackwork piece. Last month it was a sampler piece. I am working on loose thread Stitchery's Orchid Blackwork pattern. And I did get this off of Etsy. And here is my progress. So from the last time you saw it, I finished out the stitching and the back stitching on this piece. And then I've moved up here where it left off the last time, and I've been working up here. So to give you an idea, here's what it looks like. I'm not going to get very much closer because this is, well, this is the pattern, but this is the small version of the pattern so you can see the whole thing. So I haven't finished page 9, page 10, and page 11. And I've moved up here to page 7, and I'll finish this out and make sure that everything on 6 is done, and the same thing with 5. And then I will probably jump back down here and finish 8 so that it's finished, and then probably just bring it straight down from there. This is 18 count fabric that I hand dyed myself in a Come Dye With Me video. So there will be a link to that in the description. Okay, so that one, oh, I didn't give you my times. Let me grab that again. So this one, I put in 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 6 seconds for the week of February 9th through February 15th. And that has brought my total time to 20 hours, 15 minutes, and 11 seconds. So actually getting to the point in this one where I'm going to have to start thinking on what my next Blackwork project is going to be, because I'm pretty close to hitting that halfway mark. So I need to start planning that. Now, project number 3 is a wish list project, and that's pretty much anything that I want to do, and this particular category has more or less morphed into being like a full coverage projects. Not all of them are full coverage, but most of them in this category are. So for the month of February, I'm working on Nene Thomas's Waterfalls of Jade, and I got this directly off of her website at nenethomasart.com. And this past week, I finished out my row. So I hit that milestone of finishing my row, and I've gone back to the left-hand corner. So the last time you saw me, I was over here and I was working on. Now this area was definitely less confetti than the left-hand side. There's bigger blocks of color in this particular area, at least at the top. Might change as I get further down, but I did finish out this side. And so I hopped back over here and I started in the second block, and I picked up the parked threads and I'm stitching it out. I'm almost done with this first, well, with the first block in the second row. I have just a few more stitches. And so what I will do is I'm going to continue moving along the second row, but I'm going to try to stitch out as much as I can the stitches. See, as you can see, I've started down here. So I will still have some parked threads because these are down in the third row, but I'm going to go through the second row, stitch it out down as far as I can. The reason that I stopped doing that is because as you can see how confetti it was getting harder and harder for me to count. And I I was afraid that I was not counting properly because this is not gridded. But I'm taking a chance and I'm working on it slowly and just, yeah. So down here is most furthest stitch that I've gotten to, and I believe this is around the first page. So I think the first page is this big, I think. I might be a little off. It might be up here, but yeah. So I'm going to stitch out this second row to the end of this page and then probably jump back and just, I think I'm going to complete it page by page, at least for now. The amount of confetti in this makes it not as enjoyable doing the typewriter method. So I'm just trying to switch up how I'm doing it so that it's more enjoyable, so that it's fresher, so that so that it's so that I don't lose my joy in it. Because this is going to be very, very pretty when it's finally finished. So this is 22 count Hardinger that I dyed myself, and I believe I did a come dye with me video. So there will be a link for this as well. And this one I have all the stats on because it's in Pattern Keeper. I got to work on it for the week of February 9th through February 15th, 3 hours, 51 minutes, and 47 seconds. And it has brought my total project time to 40 hours, 54 minutes, and 15 seconds. I got to put in 828 stitches this week, and it has brought my total stitch count to 4,934 out of 244,860, and it put me at 2.02%. And I will probably take this one with me in the car today when I go to pick up the kids. Simply because I want to try to get a handle on these parked threads. So I will probably be putting in a little bit more effort into this one than I normally would, just because I want to get rid of some of these parked threads. Okay, so that's project 3. And project 4 is what I am referring to as my Stashbuster piece. When I worked part-time at Michael's from 2002 to 2004 and into 2005, I frequently bought kits or books, usually from the clearance section. And I have been accumulating a stash of cross-stitch kits since 2002-ish. And I'm not getting any younger. I need to work on these and complete them. So I designed a category within what I was doing with all my fair pieces and the things that I wanted to work on for myself, which is generally project 3. And so I'm like, okay, let's get rid of some stash pieces. And that doesn't include that does include the stash pieces that I collected last year and 2024 when I was, I would go over what I was buying on Mercari. I was going a little crazy with my cross stitch kits, buying them. But, excuse me. But I have a plan. I'm working on them. Category 4 is my Stashbuster pieces, Stashbuster pieces, and they're generally kits. For the month of February, I'm working on the Dimensions Indian Peacock. It is very, very lovely. I like this picture. It's very pretty. All the teals and the purples together is totally my jam. So I'm using the kit fabric, the kit floss, everything that came with it. I did not dye it. I'm just doing it as is. Okay, hang on. That's a loose thread. All right, so here's my progress. The last time you saw it, I think I was just working in here, bringing it down. I believe I've done, no, I think I still have some more of this teal to come down a little bit further. And then I have more of this tan to bring down. But I have started in the Peacock. This is its, I don't know, mohawk. And here's its head and its eye. So I am just coming straight down. I'm picking a symbol, stitching that thread out until I finish it, and then I jump to another symbol and stitch that thread out until I finish it, bring it down. So that is what I'm doing. I love how all of my projects are turning out, and each month I'm probably like, this is my favorite project ever, because they're all my favorite projects, which is why, I'm working on them. So yeah, this one I got to put in 3 hours, 47 minutes, and 23 seconds, and it has brought my total time to 38 hours, 40 minutes, and 23 seconds. So that is it. That is my weekly progress. Oh, hold on. Just let me pause this real quick. Okay, so by the time I film next week on Wednesday, my birthday will have passed and I will have started my birthday stitch. So I'm so excited. I'm still, it's been mocking me. It's been sitting there all empty canvas looking at me, being like, stitch me, stitch me. So I will be working on Heaven and Earth Designs, and this is the Valentine's 2024 Venus. And it looks like this. This was a freebie that they gave out at Valentine's Day 2 years ago on Facebook. I'm no longer on Facebook, so I don't know if they've continued giving freebies, but this was the freebie from a couple of years ago. This will be my birthday start. I'm doing this one by color completion. I'm doing it on 25 count easy grid fabric. I've got this huge Q-snap. Here is the top left-hand corner. I've got it as tight to the sides as I can get it. The first color that I am starting out with is 3768, which is a blue green, like a teal gray kind of color. So next week on Tuesday, I will start this. This will be the only one that I work on for that day. And I will see how much stitches I can get in it on a day. Get in on it in a day. Ugh, I don't know. That came out awkward. It sounded weird as soon as it came out of my mouth. So, ready for my new start. My birthday start. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. And that's it. I got a new pair of shoes. Yesterday was my husband's birthday. and I did some birthday shopping. And while I was shopping for him, I got him some new shoes. And I decided that since my birthday is next week, I was going to get myself a pair of new shoes. So I got myself a pair of new shoes. If these are not the most Sailor Jupiter looking shoes I have ever seen, I don't know what is. If you know, you know. If you don't know, it's the colors. Sailor Jupiter wears a green skirt, and the sailor part of her outfit is green. And then the accent color is sugar pink. And as soon as I saw these, I was like, that that is Sailor Jupiter. I have to have these. So I purchased them. However, these are like the most comfortable shoes that I've worn in quite some time, and I kind of want them in every single color that they have. But that's it. That's that's all that I have. I don't have anything else in my plans. Let me look at the calendar really quick. Yep, I don't see why I won't be filming next week, and next week will be the next week will be the last week that you see February's projects, and I will be introducing March's projects, what I'm switching to next week. So that is it. That is it. I will see everyone next week, and I'm so excited to finally get to my birthday start, and I'll be able to show it next week. So that's it. Bye bye.